times. You know, you tell each other, you know, I don't know what.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, everything. And then you start to have feelings for him, but then he doesn't have feelings for you.
Then the friendship is kind of...
Exactly.
That's what you have to know to get out of the friendship.
Hi everybody, welcome to the first episode of Real Shift. We have here amazing guest speakers. We have here Letice Guerra, Christine Mande, and Aisha Drani. So today we'll be discussing about friendship. David had Jonathan, Jesus had John, Ruth had Naomi. Now who do you have? Everyone needs to communicate. Everyone needs a friend in their life. So today we're gonna ask these ladies a few questions about what friendship really is. So ladies, what is the definition of friendship to you?
So a friendship, to me, it's a complementary bond. I think that it's meant to have two people be at the same level, at the same time, at the same place, and grow and go forward from there. I think that's what a friendship is.
I think a friendship is, I see it more of like as like someone or like two or more people that share like same interests, same hobbies, because you're typically more prone to talk to people who are maybe like to read books or, you know, like to play video games, or so I see like it's like that's what friendship is, like people who you share like same goals, same interests, same hobbies.
And Aisha?
I think a friendship is when you can share a bond or connection with someone. Typically in friendships you pour into each other, right? And bring out the best of each other.
So basically what these ladies are saying, that friends have to have the same elements and help each other grow. That's what basically I'm getting from their answers. So moving on to our next question. So what do you guys value most in a friendship? What is that one friend that you have that you value them? What are the values that you want to see in a friend?
Okay, personally for me, I love an honest person. I feel like when you go into any friendship or relationship with, you know, that attribute, that value, if you carry honesty, then there's just certain things you won't do within that friendship that could probably like destroy it, you know. Like I feel like every prosperous friendship has always been revolved on honesty and just being real with each other.
Christine?
The thing I value the most in a friendship is faithfulness. You know, the Bible says that God is faithful, right? And people usually refer to Christ as a faithful friend. And like that's the one thing that never fails, you know. So I feel like besides honesty, which is also a big one for me, like you gotta be faithful. If you cannot be faithful, then like I don't think we could even be friends, you know. So yeah, that's for me.
Ladies, wanted to add on to that?
I agree with both of what they're saying. Another thing I think I value most is someone like you can trust. Because if you don't have like, if you feel like, oh, I can't really confide in her, or you know what I mean, like I'm scared to tell her this or him this, you know what I mean, like it's like you don't have that trust, and it's like
That's good.
Right?
Kills me.
But basically you want to trust that person when you're not there, they can still back you up.
Yeah.
So when you're not in, like, let's say a social, exactly. So basically when other girls are there talking about you, that friend's gonna step in and be like, no, that's not okay what you're doing. So loyalty, honesty, So moving on to the third question for these ladies. So do you really need friends in life? Are they valuable in life, basically?
Yes. Yes, for sure.
Absolutely.
And why is that? What do we need friends?
I think that if Jesus needed the 12 apostles, then we need people as well, because we can't do everything by ourselves, you know. Michael Todd was talking about, Pastor Michael Todd was talking about having a godly community, you know, that helps you just grow as a person, accomplish your goals, achieve everything that you need to achieve in life, you know. And so like if you're a person that like does not like to be helped or does not have friends, it's gonna be very hard for you to live life, because you're always gonna feel like alone, and like it's just not right to be by yourself, you know, because even God is not by himself. You know what I mean? Like the 3-in-1.
I feel like it's like
Psychological?
Psychologically?
Yeah.
We aren't built, like humans aren't built to be alone. You know what I mean? Like, you know, in jail, like when you do something, like the worst punishment you can get is being in maximum security and being isolated. And when you're isolated, you can literally go crazy, right? So it's the same thing in real life. Like, you can't be alone, you can't do things alone, and you can't grow being alone.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's vital.
Basically, like, it just ties into what they're both saying, but I think, like, having friends or, like, family, like, people around you, like, it just helps you to grow, like, you know, mature, like, for you to be mature, you know, like, saying, oh, like, maybe I used to hang out with these people, but now, like, I'm realizing, like, I'm starting to grow, you know, I'm growing up. So I feel like it's better to, you do need friends because you kind of support each other, you know, you help each other.
So question number 4, is it important for Christians to surround themselves with other Christians, yes or no?
Who wants to go first?
So I'm going to say yes. Like you previously said, like a couple minutes ago, Proverbs 27:17 is iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. So I believe that that plays a big part into surrounding yourself with people who, you know, or people who are believers, people who are Christian, because they're there to encourage you, right? If you're ever, let's say you're going through something, they can pray for you. They're there to pray for you. I would say just like as a very broadly, I would say yes for encouragement. I think it's very important to, you know, who your surroundings are, because if you have like other people who are believers, then you have people to relate to, right? Versus if you're by yourself and you don't know, you can relate to the Bible, you know, but it's also important to God. Also, you know, He can use you as a vessel to help me if I'm going through something, you know, like send you a message through you. But that's why I think it's.
For me, it is definitely important to have to have friends that are believers, especially for accountability. I feel like as, you know, if you are serious with your walk with God, it's important to have people that are serious as well. Just to have, like, I don't know, wise friends to help you get through certain situations, which is like encouragement, but also making sure you are not falling and can come check you and make sure that you're on the right path, right?
That's interesting. I like what you guys are saying. The way I see it is that it's really important to have believers as friends, but it's not any believer that can be your friend, because you also have to think about the level where you're at, you know, in your walk with God. Let's say if I'm at like level 2 where I'm beginning to search for God, I don't just want to be friends with believers that think that it's okay to, you know, like be in both worlds. You know what I mean? Where if I'm at level 3 where I'm like, okay, I want to go into ministry with God, I need to surround myself with people that are already there, you know, people that are already much higher than me in spirituality and in like that desire to serve God, so that, because like I believe that we are influenced, everyone is influenced by something, right? So if your friends are not believers and you're believers, you're a believer but your friends are like not, it's gonna be really hard for you to live a life that glorifies God amongst that like crowd.
So let me ask you this, so is it okay for a believer to be friends with a non-believer?
So I think when it comes to a point where it's like they're influencing you and you're not influencing them, that's where the problem starts, you know? Your spirit is like a sponge, you know, whatever you hear, whatever it like takes and like soaks it in, and then it's like, it's just in you, because what you hear become your thoughts and your thoughts become your actions, right? So I don't think it's bad to have non-believers as friends, but to a certain extent.
Okay, so question number 5. Can a girl and a boy be best friends? Not friends, best friends. What are you guys thinking about that?
No. I mean, okay, listen. Bro. I feel like now, no.
Why is that?
In this generation, no.
Like the way I'm gonna be friends with her is not the same way I will be friends with my guy friends.
Okay, explain. How would you describe your guy friendship? How do you describe it?
You always have to put limits, because it is the opposite sex, and you're attracted to the opposite easier than you are to the, you know, to the same. So I think that if I have a guy best friend and a female best friend, even if we're best friends, I'm not gonna tell the guy everything. I cannot tell you everything.
And that gives you respect as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't just disclose my whole life to you like that. Even though we're friends, I have to know what are the things that are necessary for you to know and unnecessary, you know.
As believers, what do you think your friendship should be built on?
Christ.
When you have Christ as your foundation in your friendship, then your friendship can never end, no matter how how bad the fight is, the argument is, no matter what you guys have said to each other. Because if someone can you imagine being like denied 3 times, you're facing death, and we're saying that if your friend recognizes you and says that, yeah, this person is my friend, that saves your life, and that person chooses to do it 3 times, that must hurt, you know, that must really hurt. And like if like you said, Jesus was the perfect example, you know, which means that he's been through that, so he could understand. So us being like basing ourselves on him, like we should be like, as we're supposed to like reflect him, we should have those same attributes. We should
follow Jesus' example as being a friend to someone else.
Yeah, basically that.
And so to wrap this up with the last question, ladies, so what is your favorite friendship in the Bible and why do you admire it so much?
There's so many, but I think one that I admire a lot is I would probably say Job's friends. From like biblical, from like the scripture, it says like how his friends were there with him like 7 days, 7 nights. Imagine like you having, you know, you're going through a really tough time, and then like your friends are just there, like just so like not like bringing you down more, but like they're there to comfort you. You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's like it's just crazy to see that like someone would actually waste all their time just to be. That's friendship.
That's
you know what I mean? That's loyalty. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean a lot. But I don't know. It's something I really admire. You know, to find that it's really.
Aisha?
Mine was Jonathan and David's friendship. I say that because it's one thing to like obviously, you know, King Saul was Jonathan's father, and Saul didn't like David, and Jonathan and David were best friends. Yeah, so basically in Jonathan and David's relationship, what I thought that was so strong about that is, even though, wait, first of all, Jonathan was supposed to be king, right? And he didn't want to be king. He knew David was supposed to be king, and the fact, like, to think
That's my point.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
sorry, girl.
No, I'll add on.
But to think of like, as humans, obviously we can get prideful and we want to be the boss. We want to be like superior, you know, and not necessarily for Christians, not more superior than God, but we want to be bosses, period. You know what I mean? We want to be dominant. So the fact that Jonathan loved David enough to, I don't want to say sacrifice, but he gave his position to him as king. And being king is like being on top of the world, right? So that's just like, for me, that's a form of self-sacrificing, that's a form of self-aware, because he knew that David was worthy of being king and he wasn't at that time, you know? And trusting in the Lord, right? Because Jonathan was very close to God, and their relationship was rooted from God. Like, they made so many covenants within each other, you know? But yeah, so that's why I admire their friendship, just, you know, just to be, that's basically it. I said everything right.
Yeah. That's amazing, you know? As I was just thinking about it, the Spirit just brought me to understand that their friendship was literally Christ and man. Basically, like I think it takes a lot for a person to say like, if I'm gonna be king, like if we, like in the sense of the word, what is a king, you know? It's such a big deal, you know? It's so hard for us to see, like, I have this opportunity right now, okay? Let's say like we're both models. There's this gig, and I know I want this so bad for myself. I was born for it. I'm ready for it. But then I see her and I'm like, oh, but I think she's more suited for it, you know? That's my big break. That I should be like, no, nobody else but me. But if Jonathan was able to say no, I'm not gonna be the king, because I know, like, it's a lot to be able to recognize the potential in somebody else, especially one that's greater than yours, right? You have to have a level of humility to say, you know what, no, I think you're better than me for this, because like you said, like, we all want to be the boss, we all want to be on top, right? But like, you know, this guy said, I'm not made to be king. I know that you are. Like, how many friends do we have that are like that nowadays?
So to wrap up, guys, on our first episode of Real Shift, so know your boundaries if you have an opposite sex that are friends. If you are a friend, be loyal, be trustworthy, carry that integrity of a friend, be like David and Jonathan, okay? Be like Ruth and Naomi, be like John and Jesus, okay? So keep it real.
Real Shift!